I am perfect age to join SEAL Team 6.
You wouldn't last a second in Navy SEAL boot camp. You have to practice a water evacuation upside down, blind, underwater. You would drown so fast.
But no, went deep down that rabbit hole, came out the other side, realized my dad told me I should just play paintball. That's really what I should just do. But marriage is even more important. So I was like, at the time we're doing referral bonuses, but if we did $1 million referral bonus, if I marry your friend.
That's outrageous.
I know, but maybe that's why it'd work.
Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense. It's February the 7th, 2024.
Well, you going to say the same line as before?
I will. Second time recording. I thought it was the start of the year this morning, and you were so nice as to correct me. It's already February. I don't know where you've been, you little Groundhog Day over there. But
I know. I just clocked in for the first time this year, and immediately clocked out because I realized I can't do this. I can't do business. It's, I guess.
You used to like business.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
So I read this book, Traction, right? And it's all about putting the right butt in the right seat.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got your little butt. Big butt, actually. Big hockey butt. I think we've got it in the wrong seat. And there's always
last night.
And there's always going to be tension if you're in the wrong seat. That's the problem.
Right.
You're trying to force something you don't do.
Well, that's where I snapped this morning, and I'm like, I just can't sit in this seat. I need some sort of wheelchair accessible seat or something. You know what I did realize though? What seat that I'm going to sit in, it can't be a professional hockey player's seat. Can't, dude.
What are you talking about?
I realized it last night. Well, here's the thing. So I took 2 days of PTO because I went to see the Beanpot. Beanpot, great hockey tournament in Boston, Rhode Island. Massachusetts. Try that one on for size. And I just saw the number one hockey player in the country, or in the world actually, for 17-year-olds, and he was filthy. It was filthy. And then I went and played a doubleheader last night, and it was some of the worst hockey I've ever seen. I had chopstick hands, and I couldn't do shit, dude. It was
Isn't that phenom on the Blackhawks some 18-year-old Bedard?
Yeah, this is like the next Bedard. This is and
well,
so it's not going to be Jardon. It won't.
No.
I thought about it for a second. I thought about a couple things. One, going pro in NHL, which I never really believed that would happen, but confirmed.
Dude,
also,
hold on. People go to the juniors when they're like 14.
Yeah.
You're 25.
I went to Narragansett High School. Am I 25? I'm 26.
He's 26.
Not the right direction. Yeah, so that's a negative there. But all right, let's look at positives here. A positive is I am perfect age to join SEAL Team 6. Now,
after you hijacked the entire last episode for SEAL Team 6, he's back. This is a week later.
The rabbit hole kept going, dude. I don't know if you know, but I took 2 days of PTO, and most of that was spent in SEAL Team 6. Really cool what they're doing out there. I don't know if they still are really, but well, the cool thing about the Navy SEALs is you don't need a war to be going in missions, because actually that's what some of the SEALs said was the Iraq War and Afghanistan really should have just been special forces, the whole thing. You didn't need a whole war.
What even is special forces?
Special forces, that's the elite. That's like your dudes that come in with night vision and kill people in the night. It's not the people that kill during the day. The daytime people, that's the Army. That's the
front
Marines.
lines.
I learned the Navy and the Marines. The difference is the Navy, they don't get off their ships. They just stay on the ship. That's why they get a bunch of shit, because like, who's fighting in the seas? Unless you're in World War II. But no, went deep down that rabbit hole, came out the other side, realized my dad told me I should just play paintball. That's really what I should just do. So men's league hockey and paintball.
Dude, I
That's
was just
all.
thinking you wouldn't last a second in Navy SEAL boot camp. They do that thing where you got
No,
to go, you go in the helicopter, you have to practice a water evacuation upside down, blind, underwater. You would drown so fast.
no, dude. Dylan means from the sea, dude. I'm
The other
aquatic.
thing, I was watching Naked and Afraid last night, and they
Yes, you
hunted
were.
a warthog with a bow and arrow. It was sick. Although I love animals now, so it was hard to watch. And this woman, they turned it into biltong, which is like beef jerky, and they did that by hanging the slices of the warthog up in the tree till it dried out and turned into
Dude,
biltong. This woman took one bite of the biltong, started choking to death. And I was like,
really?
that's you. You wouldn't make it for a
Shit,
second.
it
Her
was
her
too
big
chewy.
she just had a big piece go down her throat. So
Oh,
actually, this is why this show is so good, but her partner started doing the Heimlich on her immediately. I've never seen that done
doinking,
before.
dude. A
Well,
naked and afraid Heimlich. That's butt to balls, dude.
it was butt to balls, and then he started smacking her on the back, and he got it out.
He might
Yeah,
have got it in too. My bad.
you're bad.
No, I watched that show and I was stoked. There would be like one hot chick a season, and I'd
There he is.
see her butt, and I'm like,
There.
well, that's on TV. Um, but no, I don't think I'd last long. I don't have grit. I have probably negative grit. Um,
No, you can't make it through the modern workplace. And that's about as cushy as it gets. There's snacks. You got a
dude, it did help
bodega
though this morning.
downstairs.
I was really pissed off. I was a sassy cat this morning for good reason
And
though,
I
because there's a
knew, I warned you at 9 a.m. this morning, watch out for the sassy cat, because the first thing you
right.
sent me today was a video from bed. Horrible profile for you, by the way. just Jackhammer wailing in the background. I
Right.
said, you're going to be a
The
sassy
machine.
cat all day.
Yeah. Well, it was pissing me off because one, it woke me up because I went to bed at like 3:30. Woke me up at 9 on the dot because they go 9 to 5 jackhammering because there's some floor installation or something. Wakes me up. And also I tried to nap yesterday because I was tired after my train. Jackhammering yesterday too. But I was on PTO,
Hang on, why
so
were you up till 3:30? Navy
I had a
SEALs?
double header.
Oh,
Yeah, Navy SEALs after the double header because I
okay.
played bad. Normally I watch my tapes, but I didn't even want to watch my tapes. I played bad.
So you'll
Um,
you'll
yeah.
play hockey 7 nights a week. Most nights you'll play a doubleheader, and when you get home, you will watch the doubleheader right back.
Yeah, watch it right back.
I'm getting that
Watch my
straight. Okay.
tapes.
Huh.
Yeah, someone laughed at me the other day. It was actually a college hockey player. He used to play every day. Now he hates hockey because it just felt like a job. And he actually called his ex teammates. He played D1, and he was like, "Dude, listen to what this kid does." And they all laughed at me on the phone. And it felt like it was high school bullying again. But
Moves to New York to find a girlfriend.
oh, dude, I got some thought
Plays
on that. If you
doubleheaders
want that.
7 nights a week.
So yeah, no, that's the highlight. Honestly, like whenever I tell people that, they're like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" Because there's no way you could have a girlfriend and do that. I'm like, no, it's on pause. Um, I don't.
What's your
I do
thought there?
things in sequence, not in parallel.
Right.
Just
But yeah, it just gets confusing, like when one thing will end and when does the next begin.
well, I just stopped working on Clipped. So
No, but hockey.
oh, hockey, yeah, hockey,
Hockey to
hockey.
girlfriend
When the
pipeline.
season ends, we'll recalibrate next
Yeah, okay.
season. Hopefully, big summer for Dylan, and then we come back with just 3 days a week.
Anyone ever
Probably
tell
ideal.
you in your sequential parallel thing, like the journey is the destination? Sometimes you never get to the end of a sequence to start the next thing, because the journey is the destination. It's just all of it. It's just, hey, dude, my bad. You had some thought about.
I read a book. I actually got you to start reading the book, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The book, the title of it, "Don't Trust Your Gut." That's the title of it, right off the dome. Remember that one. It's got a lot, dude. I was sending some thought. I like it because it's like this guy. He's using math. He worked at Google, so he had like a bunch of searches. And I remember like what hooked me way back in the day was he's like, "Hey, everyone's lying. There are actually a lot more gay people than we think," because he was looking at like Google searches for like gay porn versus like straight porn or something, and it was like the percentages there were like two times or double whatever people were admitting. I don't know. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. He like sees facts in a different way, and so he had a bunch of stuff on like marriage and on parenting and becoming a pro hockey player. Um, but dude, I spiraled for a bit because you give me too much time and no desire to work, and I started thinking about this marriage
Well,
thing.
well, right. And on top of that, I would say you're a logician. That's logic
Mm-hmm.
type of person, a logician, right? And so
You don't gotta say it aggressively, like
it's like is where's the G and where's the C? A logician.
right, right.
And so everyone's fighting for your attention with they're different kind of bits and pieces of logic. So sometimes you get tied in a little knot.
Right,
You get
right. The pretzel's dangerous. So I started going down, and basically, takeaway from marriage was like, hey, you just want a not crazy chick. Emotional stability is really good if you can get that. And then
Some would say he had it. Some would say he had
bird
it.
in the hand, dude.
My bad.
And and um if you're really trying to do well, one, he said it's also a numbers game. You just got to be like out in the streets instead of, just in a
At
hockey
hockey.
rink. But
14 games a week.
but then beyond that, really what you want to do is you want to look. I'm combining two worlds here. I'm going to take my Navy SEALs. Basically, how the Navy SEALs win in their battles is they fight at night. They fight with night vision on, because if the enemy can see you, you're fucked, right? So you
Yeah.
want to get them because they don't have night vision. They're poor. So you want to figure out where's everyone fighting the day. You get your night vision, your knocks, and you go at night. So you basically got to look for traits that people aren't going for. The same thing applies to like houses too. Rory Sutherland had this on like, ideally, if you don't give a shit about like the ocean, then that's like a huge advantage because you can get like crappier houses. If you really like the Victorian era houses, like, oh, you go for that, and most people don't value it as much as you.
If
So
you're
you're gonna have
deaf, you can get a
oh,
screaming deal by living next to the airport kind of thing, because nobody wants
right,
that house. But you don't care if you're deaf.
screaming deal. Yeah. So kind of the same thing applies to marriage. If you want a screaming deal, you should look for the traits like
Huh.
that most people don't value, which most people value looks. So that's going to be hotly contested. So hopefully you care about like they're in the comic books or something. You can do that, or the Navy SEALs. Or
Huh.
um,
Pickleball. This is my
oh,
bad, dude. My bad.
turn it around, dude.
Sorry.
Turn it around.
Moving on. So
Negatives
anyway,
going that way, positives going this way.
that's good.
Uh,
That's good. Your life is
so,
very interesting.
well, then I started thinking about things, and remember a while back on an earlier episode, I think I was talking about like, hey, you know how marriage is the most important decision, right?
Hockey
But
7 nights a week.
yeah, well, yeah. You really want to put your money where your mouth is. And I do with hockey. I spend like probably 10 grand a year on hockey. That's a sizable investment. But marriage is even more important. So I was like, hey, at the time we're doing referral bonuses, I'm like, what if we did like what if we did $1 million referral bonus if I marry your friend? And I still think it's a pretty good idea. But as I was going through the logician thought exercise, I started thinking about like, all right, are people going to believe if I put a website, DylanJarden.com, and on that site, I'm like, hey, I'll give you $1 million if I marry your friend. When
It's
I don't have $1 million
outrageous.
bucks. I know, but maybe that's why it'd work. The problem there though is people got to believe you. Like, it can't just be Johnny Yan throwing around a fake $1 million. Same issue with our credibility with referrals. People are like, hey, are you going to actually send this money? So then I started spiraling. I'm like, how do I get people to believe me? Well, what would happen if I bought the domain Dylan.com for $1.25 million?
Domain guy strikes again.
Because that's kind of sick to market yourself if you're just like, hey, it's Dylan.com. And then you're like, well, this guy clearly spent a lot of money or is like a nerd from the 90s to get that domain.
That's not how I think, because I'm not into domains. In fact, I spend almost no time thinking about domains and how much they're worth.
But if you saw Dylan.com, you're like, damn, dude, that guy got his name.com.
Right.
Henry.com. If you had
I'd be like, he must be up to something, like posting shorts.
He's probably got $1 million somewhere.
Yeah. But then I'd click all your links and it would just be nothing new.
Tyler just find dinosaurs. Nowhere to dig. That was the title of that one. Not released. Probably will never get released. But so I just started thinking about how to add some credibility, and then I'm like, well, can I write off $1.25 million domain for Dylan.com?
Oh, you were on step 2.
Step 2, and then I dropped it. I think after that.
What happened to you buying dated.com for your other podcast?
Stopped. Realized it was stupid. I actually thought about it this morning. I'm like, that was really dumb. Would have locked myself.
I don't know if we talked about that on the podcast.
Did we not?
Good idea, but domain guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, smart nonsense was really the move. And what I kind of circled back to was really what I should do, at least before going to Dylan.com $1 million raffle. What I should do is just grow the podcast and talk to people.
Maybe post them. Maybe post a short, because those work.
Could do that, dude.
There's some easy wins. There's some layups to be had.
Right. If you're going sequential, cool, you should probably start with the easier stuff, so you don't get
talk about a good business.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to business.
Because I was just on a business call of sorts. Mm-hmm. It's just a really great content to business machine. So our dog bit another dog or another kid like a year ago, and we were like, oh shoot, we actually have no clue how to own a dog because she almost killed this other dog.
I got some parenting tips for you if you want.
Oh, okay, good. Well, you might, but who really did was this YouTuber named Joel Beckman. Beckman's dog something or other. Which, by the way, I was immediately like, okay, if this guy's making content about dog training, he's showing dogs interacting and how he trains them firsthand, and he's growing he gets views and he gets subscribers. The proof is in the pudding compared to dog trainer down the street, that's just yeah.
My mom almost started one of those.
Yeah,
doggy daycare.
Unless she had a lot of views and subscribers, I don't trust her as much. Anyway, you can either go out.
It was Mutt Bus.
Yeah. Roll a photo of that. The Mutt Bus.
Keep going.
So anyway, it's proof is in the pudding, and we've watched all of his stuff. It's super helpful. Our dog is way better. But anyway, from his content is one-on-ones with owners who have issues with their dogs, and he uses his dog to train their dog and stuff. So it's at their facility. So you literally watch him have a one-on-one with somebody, and then he also sells those. And in my case today, he sells $200 for 30-minute calls. I was like, that's sick. Oh, and he has a board and train. You can send your dog there for 3 weeks and he makes a ton of money. But anyway, I'm like, his content is basically consulting publicly, and then he just sells that, and he probably makes $1 million a year. So it's a great call.
That was the original
nice
pipe.
Guy.
That was the dating company. It was just, here's fucking the irony there. Here's how to talk to girls, and then he sells consulting calls for how to talk to girls or programs.
And the content was
it's just
people talking to girls or doing pickup, right?
Yeah, so it's just here's You want the thing that I'm showing in the videos that get millions of
And
views?
right, because you get views and he had results in the videos, it's just like instant proof is in the pudding. Like,
All
I
right.
trust this guy. Will go spend money there.
Right. So if we're trying to become
No.
a paleontologist or a
Yeah. No. No.
astrophysicist,
Oh, I think a lot of people
translate.
take that model and then go and do a course. Like, in our
Right.
case, the temptation is like, look at how many views we get. Here's a course on how to get views, and it's like, that ain't right.
Right.
That
Well,
ain't
when you
right.
don't have a niche, because we don't have. Sorry about the fucking cops outside. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can hear those, but
I
they're
can.
wailing. Um,
Whoop, whoop.
it's all right, dude. I'm on Broadway in the best building in New York for creatives. So suck it, dude. Yeah, rest in peace 368 too. That officially shut down
Oh,
yesterday. Um,
are you
but no,
allowed
that's
to?
sick, dude.
Yeah,
Well, there's a hot girl that was working in there, and my
there he
buddy's
is.
trying to finesse, and she's really jealous of my spot. So
There he is. There he is.
so
Hockey, Navy
might
SEALs.
marry her, save myself
Oh,
$1,000,000.
Gardeloo!
You were quick on the trig, dude.
You can't. You gotta stop on a line like that. Might marry her. Can save myself $1,000,000.